First, inability to deal with another root cause of the problem is a limitation. Okay, so I'm actually telling you to understand policy limitations, you understand the root causes first. So when I say inability to deal with another root cause of the problem, let's say market failure. You're talking about limitations of taxes in dealing with the problem of smoking. Okay, taxes deal with which aspect of this good? A cigarette is a demerit. Very good. It deals with negative externality, right? It internalizes the negative externality. Is there another root cause of market failure in the case of cigarettes? Aside from externalities, you're also looking at imperfect information failure. So in this case, what is the limitation? It cannot deal with the info gap. Standard rules. Standard rules such that when you're in the exams, you forgot how to, you forgot a limitation, right? Never mind, use two standard rules, right? So there are two of them. This is the first one. But before I can boast and say, oh no, this is a rule, I have to first show you how you can apply across the whole syllabus. Let's look at macroecons. Macro. If I have a recession and I use fiscal policy to deal with a recession, what will be a limitation under this heading? You are actually thinking, what can cause a recession? Yes, it's a fall in AD. What can cause a fall in AD? CGI X minus M. Fiscal policy cannot influence which aspect? CGI X minus M. X minus M? Very good. Yes, so you cannot deal with external demand. You cannot stimulate external demand, aka your X minus M. Okay. If you need more examples, you will see, oh, fiscal policy. If I deal with unemployment, oh, I cannot tackle structural. I cannot tackle frictional unemployment. If I'm dealing with cost push inflation or demand pull inflation, again, you try to look out for specific root causes that cannot be reached by this policy. So is this convincing enough that this is when you talk about limitation, the inability to deal with a root cause? Always start from root causes if you're stuck. Okay? Second, the second limitation, which is standard, is when you have a trade-off. A trade-off or when you worsen the original problem. Okay. How you make things worse. That's a trade-off or that limitation. Okay. So I can try to find some examples. Again, in the world of market failure, we often say you could end up over taxing or over subsidizing, resulting in government failure. So a limitation can actually be to worsen the problem. Or in macroecons, fiscal policy to deal with a recession. What is a trade-off? Or I could have crowding out. So I cause another problem. Or I could end up with demand pull inflation. Or I could worsen my balance of payments. These are all new problems that can crop up. Okay? Right? Questions? Make use of some of these tips, right? Like I say, try to maintain a booklet, a small book with all these small little tips that I've told you, so that before any exam you read these things. Okay. I just shared with you two aspects so far. How to unlock impact on all four goals, use the two keys. How to remember limitations more easily, use the two rules. When you see that, oh, you're actually taking econs in its entirety, cutting them into themes so it's easier to handle. Okay? And these are standard rules. So if you're asking, what about other limitations? Well, the last one is other limitations, things that you have to memorize. Like in the case of taxes, one limitation is PED could be less than 1. That point is not under any of the rule, you just have to memorize. Under fiscal policy, a limitation is size of multiplier.